It's a movie review for you, and I want to talk a little bit about a movie I watched last night called Jimmy's Hall. It was released in 2014 and was directed by the extremely talented Ken Loach. Now, I am a big fan of Ken Loach. I make no excuses for that. He is my type of guy. He is extremely left-wing, and he makes movies that provoke your view on the world, and he also is not afraid to confront issues that make governments very uncomfortable. Now, Jimmy's Hall is set in the 1930s in the Republic of Ireland. I say the Republic of Ireland because if you know your history, in the 20s there was a civil war between Irish rebels, now known as the IRA, against the British government, the British establishment. And as a result, the country now known as Northern Ireland was established, and the Republic of Ireland was the result of that civil war. In control was the IRA and the Catholic Church. This movie looks at the impact that those two organizations had on purging so-called communist insurgents, one of which was one man called Jimmy Groulton, who returned to his native island after spending a decade in the United States, in New York City. There he had been labelled as a communist agitator, and when he returned to Ireland, the authorities were quick to keep tabs on what he was up to. He returned to his mother's house in a very poor neighbourhood in County Antrim, and prior to him going to the States, he was famous for actually constructing the Piers Connolly Hall, a place for learning, and it was regarded by the authorities as a den of communist activity. It was called the Piers Connolly Hall because it was in memorial to two executed leaders who were involved in the 1960 Easter Uprising, that they were executed by the British government. And so he constructed this hall in their memory. Anyway, he came home and he wanted to have a quiet life, but the local community wanted the hall to start again, so he rebuilt it, and it was a place where people went to learn various skills, adults, and also it was also a place where there were dances and entertainment in the evenings. This, of course, brought him into conflict with the Catholic Church, who described the venue as a den of iniquity. And what follows throughout the film is this battle between the secular and the religious. And it's an intriguing look at what was taking place in Ireland in the 30s. I recall a couple of three particular scenes that are worth remembering. Two crowds of men confront each other as Jimmy's supporters try to get a young woman and her children reinstated to a home that she's been unfairly evicted from. And we see the brandishing of guns on both sides. And the second scene that I found remarkable was when Jimmy had reopened the hall and he appeared with a gramophone player to the excitement of the revelers and started playing traditional jazz bop music. And then another scene where a frequenter of the hall was seen in church with her father, and the priest announced to the congregation, all the members of that congregation, that had actually attended the entertainment venue. And as a result, a woman was removed from the church by her father, taken home and whipped, viciously whipped, for actually going to this den of iniquity. So this gives you some idea of the sort of film we're looking at. It's well worth a look. And the final scene when Jimmy is deported by the authorities is certainly one that we should hold on to, particularly in light of the recent developments in the United States and the oppression of civil rights by the Trump administration. Enjoy.